buddies, welcome to ArtCrest online class. My name is Shodi Mukeni. Today's class I'm going to show us how to make a gathered skirt. Okay, so in this class what you need is your fabric, about 3 yards of fabric. You need your elastic band. Now this is like a 3 inches elastic band. It's very stretchy, and it comes in black color. You can decide to make yours from scuba or any type of fabric, but this is okay and you can easily get it in the market. Okay, and then you need your scissors, your pin. You can also get this in the market, or you can get it in our store. We have pin cushion and ball head pin with small pins, and also you need your tape rope and your chalk. Okay, so now let's get started. The first thing you need to do is you need to get your fabric. About 3 yards is okay to make a full maxi gown, like a gathered skirt maxi gown. You can decide to use Ankara fabric or any type of fabric that you think you want to use. Now the measurement you need for this is just your full length measurement, depending on how long you want it to be. Now for this particular model, I'll be making it 38 inches, that is plus seam allowance. So I'm going to measure from here all the way to the edge here, and that is 38 inches on this side. I'll do the same on the other side as well. That's 38 inches. I'm going to use my ruler to connect it together. So I have added seam allowance to this measurement. This is a full length measurement. I'm going to and then I'll cut it out. Now in case you want to make use of your skirt as the band, you can go ahead and do so. All you need to do is measure your waist and then you can cut it out. Okay, but for this we'll be making use of the elastic band. Now for the elastic band, what we are going to do is you measure out your waist measurement and just take away about 2 inches. You can decide to take away about 4 inches depending on how stretchy it is. Now by taking away 2 inches, you don't need to add seam allowance. Now for this particular model, we are working with a waist 34 and we are taking away 2 inches, and that will give us 36 inches. So without stretching it, I'm going to mark 32 inches and I'll cut it out like this. So I'll place the extra on one side. Now the next thing you want to do is you want to fold it into two. Now I want to identify that this is going to be the upper part and this is going to be the lower part. So I'm going to notch this area right here into two, and then I'll go ahead and fold it again into two, and then I'll notch this area here. Okay, if you don't want to notch, you can just pin the areas. In case you don't want to notch it out, let's assume you are dealing with a fabric that when you notch is going to start affecting it, you can just pin it out. Okay, so for the fabric as well, you want to also fold it into 4 equal parts. Notch the center fronts and also notch the 2 sides like this. Okay, and then you can spread it out. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to pleat it out. Now if you have ruffler foot or gather foot, this can actually help you, but if you don't, just follow this simple process and you're going to be so happy with the final result. Okay, so remember that we notched this part. Okay, so I'm going to first of all pin the edge here together. Can you see these two edges? The right side, you pick the side you want as the right side, because all the sides can actually be used on the band. It doesn't have a right side. Okay, so you make sure that it's equal at the edge, and then you want to use your pin to secure it down on this part like this. And then the first notch area on the fabric and then the first notch area on the band, you make sure that they are meeting this way. The second notch, which is the center front here, you make sure that it's mixing this, the one on the fabric as well. You repeat the process for the third and the fourth. That's the third notch here. And then the last one, which is the other side. Now some people might be asking, why didn't I join the band together before I join? You can do it anyhow you like it, depending on how comfortable it is for you. Now if you can just stitch this together before you do this together, but I want it to be really clear. I want you to see everything. So until I'm done pinning, that is when I'm going to join the band. Okay, but if you're working with another type of band, you can decide to join the band by the side before you now start inserting your skirt. It's just going to be the way this, like the same way we did it in the beginners class when we inserted the band after sewing the skirt completely. Okay, but this is quite different. So the next thing we are going to do is I'm going to pick one and I'm going to do this and show you, then I'll repeat the same process for the other ones. Now see how much fabric we have and how little the band we have. But because the band is stretchy, so it's going to accommodate the excess that we have here. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that it is equal, and then we pin it at the center, thereby reducing the excess we have for each of the fabric. Okay, the same thing here, we reduce it here. Can you see that? Now we have just a little. Now I'm leaving this exercise because we are going to stitch by 1/2 inch, so that's why I'm going to start the pleat from this side. Okay, so now this is what I have left. I'm going to still divide it into 2 as well, and then I will pin it together. Now these ball head pin are very good. Unlike the smaller pins, they give you a very good result. Okay, so now at this point, when I have this very little excess, I'm going to start pleating it out. I'm going to start pleating it. Knife pleats. Remember the knife pleats that we did in our beginners class? This is where it's going to be useful. So I'm going to start making knife pleats on it, little by little with the pin. You want to be very careful with the pin. Can you see the way I'm making my knife pleats? And I'm going to show you how it's going to look like at the other side. So I'm going to make tiny knife pleats on it. Okay, so I'm going to show you how it looks like on the other side. Can you see the kind of effect it's giving me? That's what I'm going to have all round. So I'm going to make sure that I finish the first one so that you would really understand what we are doing. Then I'm going to finish the rest off camera so that I don't take up much of your time. So this is it. We're going to keep knifing all the pleats. It's going to be knife pleats all the way. You want to make sure that the knife is very tiny, not too wide, otherwise you won't have the effect. That's why I said if you have a gathered foot, it will also help you achieve a gather effect. But what I want is a pleat effect. Okay, so this is what I still have. Can you see? By the time I take away the pins, can you see what I have here? So I'm going to still continue. We've gotten to this particular point. That's the second half of the first let me say quarter, because we have 4 quarters. So this is the first quarter, there's the second quarter, the third quarter, and the last quarter. Okay, so we have got to the second part of the first quarter. We repeat the same process. We fold it into 2, and then we pin it down equally on this side. Now by doing this, it allows you to pleat equally so that you won't have one pleat more on the other side without having on the second side. So this allows all the pleats to be equal and well distributed. You know, you want to distribute everything evenly on each of the quarters. Okay, So you want to make sure that happens. So, and with that you need a lot of pin. Just imagine these, I've used over 15 pins just on just half of 1/4. Okay, so we're going to keep doing that till we get to the extreme end. Okay, you don't want to rush, you want to take your time. Within 20 minutes I'm very sure you'll be done with pinning. Okay, and then sewing just takes about 5 or 2 minutes. Okay, so I'm still pinning. So I'm done with 1/4. I'm done with 1/4. I'm going to show you the result right here. Can you see what we have here? Can you see what we have here? Can you see the result? Okay, so I'm going to repeat this process for the remaining 3/4, and then I'm going to show you how it looks like. Can you see the pin all looking so beautiful at the other side, and then looking so beautiful at the outer edge? So I'm going to keep doing that till I get to the extreme. Remember, you have to leave about 1 inch at the other side of this band as well, so that you'll be able to sew it down when you want to take your either 1 inch or ½ inch seam allowance, so you don't sew on any of the pleats. Okay.